This could be good for me. Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. But when you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. And I could walk for days, searching for your praise. But is it even there to find?
The sage had traveled far and wide, across deserts where the sands whispered secrets of time, through forests where the trees held the wisdom of the past, and into valleys where rivers carried the stories of those who had walked before him. One day, his journey led him to a village unlike any other, a place where no mirrors could be found. The people of the village moved about with hurried steps, their eyes never lingering too long on one another. There was a discomfort in the air, a tension that seemed to come from something unseen. Curious, the sage approached a woman drawing water from a well. "Tell me," he asked, "why do I see no mirrors in your village?" The woman hesitated before responding, avoiding his gaze. "Long ago, our village had mirrors in every home, in every square, in every marketplace, but they caused nothing but trouble. People did not like what they saw in them. They became angry, resentful, and ashamed. Families quarreled, friends became enemies, and no one could bear to look at themselves any longer. So we shattered them all and removed their fragments so that we would never again be haunted by what they showed us." The sage nodded and asked, "And has this brought you peace?" A young boy nearby overheard the conversation and stepped forward. "We do not argue as we once did," he admitted, "but we also do not know who we truly are." That evening, as the villagers gathered, the sage stood before them and spoke. "You have banished the mirrors," he said, "but tell me, does breaking a mirror change the reflection it once held?" A man, his voice trembling, asked, "But what if we do not like what we see?" The sage smiled and reached into his cloak, pulling out a small polished mirror. He held it up so that the firelight from the village square reflected upon it. "A mirror does not lie," he said. "It shows us what is. But how we see ourselves is our choice. Do we see flaws or do we see growth? Do we see mistakes or do we see lessons? The mirror is not your enemy. It is only a messenger." With that, he placed the mirror on the ground and stepped away. One by one, the villagers approached, hesitant at first, peering into their own reflections. Some gasped, some wept, and some simply stared, seeing themselves clearly for the first time in years. The elder of the village wiped his eyes. "We thought we had freed ourselves from judgment," he murmured, "but we see now that we had only hidden from the truth." The sage nodded. "A mirror does not create the truth, it only reveals it. And truth once seen can never be unseen." As the sage departed, he looked back and saw the villagers gathering more mirrors, not out of vanity, but out of the understanding that to know oneself is the first step to true wisdom. And now, traveler, I ask you, what truth have you avoided seeing, not because it is unbearable, but because it asks you to change?
Lately I was feeling like I need a purpose. But when you talk to me, give me the impression that I won't scratch your surface. And I could walk for days, searching for your praise. But is it even there to find?